What's up? What's up? It's your girl, Nurse Shawnee, aka the Know-It-All Nurse. Y'all, I am back with Vlogmas. I think this is day 10. So today is I think it's the 13th of the month. So I'm a few vlogs behind, and the lighting is what it is because we're not in our typical filming location. Anyway, so y'all, I was sick. This is the first day, today's Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is the first day that I woke up and I didn't feel nauseous or feel like I had to live in the bathroom. TMI. But y'all, I was sick. So that's why we're a little behind on Vlogmas. But we're here. I'm so happy to be back here. I missed you guys. So today's vlog, we're gonna be talking about travel nurse don'ts. So this video is probably geared to nurses who aspire to travel at some point. So if that is you, keep watching. Some things that you probably don't want to do on your travel assignment. So as a travel nurse, the one thing that you want to remember is you are there to fill some kind of staffing need that the hospital has. And so, you know, as nurses, we all, not all of us, but I feel like a lot of nurses, we have a type A personality, very highly motivated, very driven, very goal-oriented, want to do an excellent job at whatever we're doing, which are great traits to have, right? That probably describes me to a T. Travel nursing will kind of knock you down a couple pegs, like click, click, click. You're doing too much, okay? So let's talk about some things that you might not want to do while you are on your assignment. Y'all ready? Got some notes. So this first one is geared to before you get to your assignment. So as travel nurses, you know, you're going to be a little bit transient. You have to find somewhere to live while you're on a travel assignment. And I have done a video on travel nurse housing options. I think it was Vlogmas day 1 or 2 or something like that. I'll try to link it here, but if not, it's in the description. You're gonna have to find some place to live. Based on my experience, you probably don't want to prepay for your housing until you get to your assignment. Couple reasons why. One, your contract could get canceled at any time. You don't want to be out those funds that you have used to secure housing. Sometimes you may or may not be able to recoup those funds. So it's probably best that you wait until you get to your actual assignment and start working before you secure housing. And when I say secure, meaning putting down money to secure that housing. So I recommend that you research the area that you're going to be living in and kind of getting a feel for where you may want to live in this temporary situation. I feel like that's just a suggestion. I know some people want to know exactly where they're going, where they're going to be staying. Those kind of things cause you anxiety when you don't know. But with travel nursing, there are lots of variables that are going to be unknown. As a travel nurse, you're going to have to get used to the fact that you're going to be kind of like living on the fly. Like things are not going to be normal as it would be if you were a staff nurse. So I personally don't recommend securing housing until you get to the location, and make sure that you start working. I'm bad at this one, but number 2, you do not want to pack a lot of stuff. So the one thing that I'm learning about my current assignment that I'm on is that I'm treating this like it's a business transaction. So, you know how you see people who are flying out of town for business, they don't take their whole kit and caboodle of all the things that they have at home and bring it with them. So you want to have the things that you need, obviously, like clothes and shoes and personal items that you need, but you don't have to pack your whole closet. And I'm bad about this because I am so emotional when it comes to dressing. It is difficult for me to just pack a little bit of stuff, but I'm learning that here I am literally just working and coming back to my hotel room. We're in a pandemic. Not a lot of places you can go. Things are shut down early or at limited capacity. So in the past, when I've done travel assignments, I have had, you know, opportunities to sightsee. And I feel like I can do a little bit of that here, but it's just, I don't need all this stuff. I don't. So every time that I go home, I am condensing my belongings, because what I don't want to happen is when this assignment is over, I have tons of things and I got to figure out how am I going to transport this stuff back home. So you want to think about the necessities that you need and maybe bring like a couple comforts from home. Like I always travel with my blanket. Like I love my little inspirational fleece blanket. I have to have it. So if you have things that you like of comfort, bring those things, but just try to think about making a packing list to say, let me just bring the essentials. And not that you want to spend a lot of money when you're on your travel assignment, but sometimes if there are things that you really need, you can get them when you get there. Okay, now let's talk about when you actually get on your assignment. Don't expect to be treated like the staff nurses. And I know this is a big concern for a lot of people. I've gotten lots of questions about, do you feel like you get heavier assignments because you're a travel nurse? I have never personally experienced that, but I've heard that it does happen. So it's a possibility. We, again, are here to fill a staffing need. So you know how nurses are. It's a hierarchy of sorts, so that you are the low person on the totem pole. It's quite possible you could get the most shitty assignments. Like, it could be a reality. I am grateful that it has not happened to me. For the most part, the staff has been grateful to have extra hands on. So I've not had that experience, knock on wood. But you never know what your experiences are going to be. So don't expect to get treated like the staff nurses. You are an outsider. It's like you're a visitor coming into someone else's home. And so you always want to be mindful that if the staff is kicking it during downtime, you can't necessarily get into that groove because you just don't want to get that relaxed in this environment. You are a temporary staff member, so just keep that in mind. Along those same lines, funny story, I was on a travel assignment during Nurses Week. I am used to, you know, getting some kind of Nurses Week gift. Even as a per diem nurse on my per diem job at home, I always get whatever we get for Nurses Week. So I'm accustomed to, you know, we all want to be appreciated as nurses. Even if it's just a keychain, we want that keychain, right? I was on my very first travel assignment and the nurses got these really cute little badge holders that had little babies and stuff on it. And so they sent out a list and you could pick, you know, whatever design you wanted. So me and my other travel nurse friend, we picked out what we wanted. Child, we didn't get nothing. We did not get a cute little badge holder. And I was in my feelings for a second, like, you know, I work here every day. Why can't we at least get a little badge holder? I was kind of offended by it. Along the lines of expectations, do not expect for your manager on your travel assignment to give you lots of feedback and or accolades. So that's something I had to get adjusted to, being a travel nurse. Like, I have been on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 assignments, and I have never gotten feedback from my actual nurse manager while I've been on an assignment. Like, never spent any time with them, never had to sit down with them in their office. The most time I've ever spent with them is probably day 1. You'll get to meet your manager, or like during the first week of your assignment, during your orientation period, you may get the opportunity to meet with your manager, and that might be it, especially if you work night shifts. So being on nights, you know, leadership is not as visible or as present. I feel like I saw my manager a lot when I worked my first contract and I was days, but since then, I've really had little to no interaction with my manager. And so as a travel nurse, you need to get references for every assignment. This is a travel nurse tip. For every assignment that you complete, you want to make sure that you get a reference before you leave that assignment, because your reference, it is just like your resume. You need those things to continue to have a profile as you continue to travel. So as travel nurses, we have travel nurse profiles that we submit when we want to get our next job. You're going to need that reference. Let me tell you, out of sight is out of mind. Once you are gone from that assignment, it's like you're just another number. You were just another warm body that they needed to fill in that position. You may or may not be able to get your reference. So I learned this lesson, that I get a reference in writing prior to leaving my travel assignment. And so typically travel nurse agencies will accept a reference from like charge nurses that you've worked with. And of course, the charge nurses that you've worked with, they're going to be the best person to give you a reference because you're working with them a lot. So make sure that you get that reference before you leave that assignment, because once you leave, it's like you're trying to chase down this manager. And now, being in a leadership position myself, I see that you're pulled in so many different directions. I can see why they don't have time to keep up with travel nurses, because there may be tons of travel nurses coming through units all the time. So bottom line, don't expect a lot from your manager. If you need that kind of hand holding, that kind of support, you may want to rethink your decision to be a travel nurse, because you're not going to get that same level of support that you would get if you were a staff nurse. And make sure that you do get that reference before you leave. So like the last week of your assignment, get your contact your agency, ask them if they have a reference form they can send you. You print that out, have your charge nurse fill it out, and then you will always have that reference in hand with you, okay? I'm also going to do another video of things that you should always have when you are a travel nurse. You want to have that profile up and running. Gotta keep that coin coming, okay? And my last tip of don'ts: do not go onto your assignment trying to change the culture of the unit. Let me tell you, again, we are very forward-thinking people most of the time. We, meaning nurses, progressive, we want to see things work a certain way. But once again, I want to remind you, you're a guest in someone's home. So just like you would not go into a stranger's house like,
I don't like the way y'all decoration look over here. Y'all need to move that over there. The heat is too high. Y'all don't have the kind of food that I like. I need more amenities.
Like, no. I would hope that you wouldn't go into somebody's house trying to rearrange everything. Think about your travel nurse assignment in the same way. Don't go in there trying to change the culture of their unit. There may be very toxic environments on certain units. We all know, like, listen, every time I go on a travel nurse assignment, the nurses ask me, how is it at other places that you go? Because people sometimes hate their jobs. People hate their jobs, but not enough to leave and get into a better situation. Whole nother topic for another day. But you may encounter environments that are just not favorable for you. You're there to do a job. So remember your why. Remember the reason why you are on this assignment, while you're taking this opportunity. That's your motivation to get up every day, go and do your job, come home. That's it. So the culture is what it is. Like, it took a lot of time for it to get like that. You are on an assignment for 13 weeks. You don't have time to rebuild all their toxic stuff. And I'm not saying all environments are going to be toxic, but you guys know what I mean if you work in healthcare. People complain a lot. We hate this. We don't have enough staff. We don't have enough supplies. This is wrong. Da, 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 da. Don't fall into that trap of complaining with them. It's easy to do that. Don't fall into that trap. Just go in, do the job that you are contracted to do. It's like you're an independent contractor. You are here to do a job, and then you go home. And that's that. There are going to be days where you like, child, I can't stand it here. These people get on my nerves. I got to go. Listen, that's why I start counting my days down, my weeks down, whatever is going to make things flow for me. But what I know I'm not going to do is I'm not going to change the way they do things at this location. I'm here for a short amount of time. When I leave, they still going to be complaining about the same stuff. It's just the reality of the situation. So don't go in trying to change the culture of the unit. You don't have to accept negative behavior towards you. So if you feel like you're in a situation that's hostile or threatening, then you obviously have to, go up your chain of command or do what you need to do to protect yourself. Contact your agency. Make sure you are protecting you, but don't try to change what's going on in the hospital. Trust me when I tell you, it will not end up favorably for you, okay? So those were my travel nurse don'ts. The list can go on and on, but those were just a few things that came to mind that I thought were important to let you guys know about. Thank you guys so much. Please like, share, subscribe. We are back on the Vlogmas tip, y'all. I'm feeling so much better. Listen, feeling sick is like miserable. Like, I'm a relatively healthy person. Y'all, I was going through it for the last 3 days, like really going through it. So it really makes me, kind of become a more compassionate nurse when I know that if I'm just not feeling better from a stomach ache or from food poisoning, imagine what some of our patients are going through when they are dealing with much heavier issues. I'm telling you, perspective is everything. I'm wishing you guys much health and wealth during this holiday season, and I will talk to y'all in the next video. Peace out. Where's my little clicker? I got this new little clicker that I can start and stop my videos with. Watch. It ain't work.